Okay, I think started, right? Okay. So I think you can see the screen. So I'll start doing little chalk and talk. Before that, let me just tell you that what are the things are there, because see, let me introduce you to the training which we are offering is basically Cisco Networking Academy, which is headed by Sarah and all. But what is the advantage of Cisco Networking Academy? So first of all, once you complete this training, you will become a trainer. Okay, because this is a instructor training session, so you will become, all of you become a trainer. So later on, you can actually teach students. And let me tell you what are the courses are there. See, there are a lot of free courses. Once you become on board, you will be able to teach all those courses, starting from C, C++, Python, Java, introduction to cybersecurity. All those courses are there. These are all free courses, and once you become an instructor, you don't have to go for an instructor training. But there are courses which is really highly paid courses, which for what you have to pick up someone like me who can actually train you. Let me tell you, this is not a free course. I am onboarding you from the Cisco, and each and every individual, bearing of that, the cost is basically done by whatever way, but it is 1.5 lakhs per individual. The training cost is 1.5 lakhs per individual, which is coming free of cost. Because if I was not there, per individual, Cisco was actually asking this cost to you. So please understand, this is a very highly paid course. It's not a free of cost course. So once you complete these three modules, CCNA, I'm just teaching this CCNA 1, CCNA 2, CCNA 3. After that, there are courses like CCNA Security, okay, CCNA DevOps, CCNA CyberOps. So I can teach all. Those who are interested can be certified trainer for all. Once you complete this three training, 201, there is a code. I'm not telling you, but you will be able to get a voucher. The voucher will cost you 76% discount, up to 76% discount, depending on whatever course, code, and merit it is. With that voucher, you will be able to give the exam. Where? Brainware itself. You have a Pearson View testing center. Open that center. It's a home ground. Get it certified, and once you become certified, you can be also instructor trainer for me. India, normally they don't conduct an instructor trainer. I have been an instructor trainer going to Singapore and clear all my training. It's a 36 hours continuous evaluation process. So those who are ready to for it, we can later on try for that. So it's a motivation. You can become a corporate trainer, instructor trainer, bring a lot of funding for your institution and all. So this is all about Cisco Networking Academy, and the portal which we have. Eventually, all of you, sir, will share with me the login means details. Those who have enrolled. This is a site netacad.com. This is a Cisco Networking Academy. All of you will be getting your credentials, and once you get your credentials, you will be able to do all those courses. Let me show it to you. This is netacad.com. There are two sites which is there. One is netacad.com, and second one is basically called skillforall.com. Just this is a site netacard.com. Once you get that login credential, you will be able to log in into your you know profile. Once you get into your profile, sorry, you will be having, right now I will be having only one tab, that is I am learning tab. Rest all, once you become an instructor, you will be having I am teaching, I am managing, and all those things later. But so you will be having I am learning tab. So you have to complete all those courses. So I have completed more than 260 courses here. So so you have courses, and this is a skill for all. So this is a free skill for all, but you have to use this login credential to get into that. Skill for all courses are free. It contains AIML courses, data science courses, Java, Python. It has more huge courses, and you can complete all the certification. That is a self-learning courses, and all self-learning courses you can earn a badge and a certificate. It's your motivation. You can say, I've seen people posting in Facebook, LinkedIn, that I have completed this certification, that certification. That's a motivation for you, because this is a good certification courses, but it's a free courses. Okay. So I've already enrolled you, those who are actually part of that academy by default. They have been enrolled. So this is a CCNA one, and eventually sir will share with me. I'll enroll you in the course. What you have to do, you will get a mail from Cisco. Go there, activate your profile. Once you activate your profile, under I am learning tab, you will be able to see this course. CCNA 1, then CCNA 2, CCNA 3, others. As and when required, we will be completing those courses. Okay. So this course, once you go to this course, okay. So lots of materials are there. Should I give it to you now or later for the reading? Okay. Again, yeah, I will share and you can eventually share. So no need to share it now. I will share it later. So the course is very beautiful course, because inside the course, if you go and click on launch the course, okay, you will be able to get into this course. So you can see that this is okay. This is your basic networking course. So introduction to network, you have theoretically all 7 layers of Wi-Fi module. So you all know, those who have studied networking, it is all about 7 layers of Wi-Fi model. But we hardly nurture the 7 layers of Wi-Fi model, what it basically do, how it works, and all those things. So my part will be beyond that. Means I know all of you have studied for Frozen, Tannenbaum, all those books, William Sterling. So there are a lot of books which you have studied. So you know my 7 layers of Wi-Fi model. Anyone doesn't know, we can discuss. But I am sure that all of you know that these are the 7 layers of Wi-Fi model. Okay. So if you see that 7 layers of Wi-Fi model from top application, okay, then you are having presentation layer, then you are having session layer, you are having transport layer, you are having network layer, you are having data link layer, which got two sub layer, okay, LLC and MAC. It got two sub layer, LLC and MAC sub layer, and you have a physical layer. So this course, Introduction to Network, covers all the 7 layers of Wi-Fi model. So if you go and click on these modules, for example, here if you go and click on this module course content, it will give you a very good book. This book is already available. So what you are going to, what should I learn and where should I learn, and all those things are there. Sorry, let me keep it here. No problem, no problem. So that starts with how to take that module, and after that you can see that what is starting with module 1.2, what are the network components. Okay. Then you can see that what is topology. Then you can see that basic things of computer networks is being covered. What is protocol, what is model, what is physical layer, what is data link layer, what is network layer, what is IP addressing, what are transport layer, application layers. It's all 7 layers of OSI model in details covered in this syllabus. Okay. So, and also there are a lot of practical things which is there. So the entire practical part here we will be teaching or will be, experimenting. All practical things will be done by Cisco Packet Tracer. So where from you can ask your IT people. I have already shared that packet tracer file. You can go to netacker.com and download the packet tracer. Entire resources are available with netacker.com. So this is the interface of Cisco Packet Tracer. So this will be your Packet Tracer homepage where you have to click on Cisco Networking Academy. The credentials which you are going to get, okay, you have to use it here to log in into that. So you can see that I am also logging into that. So there is nothing paid as such, means it is free of cost, means Cisco Packet Tracer. But what they want that you have to be associated with Cisco Networking Academy to use these credentials. Otherwise, you can go to guest and use it. So this is a Cisco Networking Academy, software Cisco Packet Tracer. What you can do here is you can design. Yes, sir. You can design a lot of topologies and other things. Okay. So we are having. Pardon? This is 8.22. Okay, the 9 is already there in the progress. So 9 they are coming with so many things. Okay, because here a lot of IPv6 flavors are not yet designed and developed in Cisco Packet Tracer. No, if you look into GNS3, GNS3, GNS3 comes with a basic structure. So what you have to do, GNS3, you have to, because see, since this training it is not recommended, but I will always ask you to download GNS3 and play with GNS3. The reason behind GNS3 is this is all about your Cisco product. Okay, only specific devices. You can see the menu here. So this menu, okay, this menu, all the devices which is available in the Cisco Packet Tracer are pre-built. But GNS3 is not so. You can download the iOS from any market, incorporate that, and you will be getting an entire flavor. But it's a very lightweight Cisco Packet Tracer. Yes, yes, that's what I'm telling you. GNS3 is good, but it's heavy, huge, heavy. Some of the pack. That's why I said that this is a predefined. It's a predefined. That's why I say 9 will come with IPv6, 9 will come with MPLS. So it is a very limited version of the iOS. Pardon? Packet sniffing is available, but very limited. It's a very limited one. Yeah. So Cisco Packet Tracer is basically how much is there in the course. It is only covered. But whereas GNS3 is concerned, you can design anything and everything in the world. But that is a emulation actually. That is a emulation. So there is a difference between simulator and emulator. There, what you can do, you can configure the router. Here they have tried, but I'm sorry to say they're very much unsuccessful in this. So I have been, part of this, and they could not. They could not do because they restricted. When any software is locked, there will be problem. GNS3 is basically free and open source. You can do anything and everything with that software. And there are also there are other tools also available which full-fledged you will be having a virtual box where you can create an emulator and all those things. Okay, so there are tools always there in the market, but it's a very lightweight version. What I'm going to teach as a part of this CCNA, okay, CyberOps and all can be covered in this. But beyond that, if you go for CCNP, some additional devices, for example, you go for a Nexus switch or you go for a 4000 series router, you'll never able to do it here. Whereas GNS3 will be able to download because the chassis is freely available there. You have to just bring the iOS and make your own router and switches. That is the best part of the GNS3. But you have to configure. It takes time to configure, and it takes a lot of it eats up a lot of memory also. I was having a small topology I was trying, but even 32 GB RAM could not support it. I was going through Meraki solution. Once I started working on a Meraki solution, I actually managed to have another laptop. This is a 16 GB laptop. I had another 16 GB laptop. So I took out the RAM, picked it here, 32 GB. I could not manage it. So because the iOS itself is eating up, so it is looking for around the 128 GB RAM, the GNS3 itself. So where from I will bring that, and it is asking for another 8 GB GPU. So that's the problem. That's the limitation in GNS3 because the latest version itself asks for huge resources. But that is again, I'm telling you, that is coming with uh, you will be getting a OVA file. Download the OVA file. That is also inbuilt something like Cisco Packet Tracer. Only the difference between Packet Tracer and that one is it is only supporting Cisco devices and that is supporting Cisco non-Cisco devices. You can play around with Juniper router. You can play around with Palo Alto devices, Cisco and non-Cisco devices. But here it is only Cisco devices. So anyway, means if you are a network engineer, you should know what are the players are there. So Sarah has already rightly mentioned that there are simulators. So let me tell you, I'm only concentrating on Cisco packet tracers. Basically, here you will be getting flavors of only Cisco devices. The company itself is promoting their business. So they're saying that if you become a CCNA, it's all about Cisco devices. But in my entire life, I've handled several other devices. So Cisco has a huge competitor in the market is basically Juniper. Juniper has taken 38% Cisco market. They already have 40. Now it's almost neck to neck. Sometimes in some products, Juniper, some areas Juniper is better. Some areas, Cisco is better. So Cisco is not, no longer a market leader as far as networking solution is concerned. So that is a huge, uh, question mark for on Cisco development team that why what you are doing because if you ask me wireless solution I will straight away say that Juniper Mist is better than Cloud Meraki first of all. Cloud Meraki is only having a solution which is having a very good AI based camera monitoring and other things which is very good. So few features are good in Cisco devices. Otherwise Juniper Mist one of the leaders. If you talk about firewall I will always prefer Palo Alto. So Palo Alto has been, Cisco comes very. So I will always prefer Palo Alto is the market leader. Then we are having FortiGate, FortiGate. So there are several market players are there as far as this solution is concerned. So what I'm talking about these solutions are basically when you teach students, you never talk about the devices, right? But when you talk about the industry, when we actually deploy a network or design a network, we always talk about devices. Which device is best suited? So, for example, tomorrow, if someone asks, okay, that what will be my server configuration or what will be my laptop configuration? Okay, so you have to understand that. In Cisco, we all know that we have all studied computer organization architecture. We know what is megahertz, what is gigahertz, what is this that what is the CPU, what is the cache memory, all those things. But no one has covered that much. What is required to identify a network device? What you should have? Okay, what are the layers it should cover? So once we talk about application part, we always and protocols we always talk about another model which is basically called TCP/IP protocol suite model. So TCP/IP protocol suite model, all of you know that there is application layer protocol. It is called application layer. Okay, the transport layer is also called transport layer, by or end-to-end communication or host-to-host communication. Huh? Host-to-host communication. Okay, layer. Network layer is basically called internet layer. Okay, and these two layers are basically called physical interface or physical access or internet access, physical access. So there are different school of thought. Someone say internet access layer or network access layer, other network access layer, huh? Okay, physical or network access layer. So all those terminologies are there. Basically, this combines the task of physical and data link layer, its functionality, and the protocols and other things associated with it. The first 2-3 chapters is all about physical and data link layer. So once you talk about physical layer, what is physical layer? What it do? Physical layer is basically taking care of physical connectivity. So if you talk about physical connectivity, so we basically need to understand, when you talk about physical layer, we need to understand two things. What is my wireless wired communication? Wireless versus wired communication system. Sorry, wireless versus wired. So once we talk about wired, wireless, whatever communication is, which is basically IEEE 802.x. So it's all 802.1, 2, 3, 11, 20, up to 1 to 20. So many standards are there. What these standards basically specifies the physical layer connections. You can have LAN, MAN, WAN, Wi-Fi, so many things. Okay. So for that, you need to have IEEE 802.x standards. And in physical, you are having wireless devices. Okay. Wired devices, wireless devices. And when you talk about devices, okay, you are having connections. Okay. So for example, if I open, I'm just skipping few things. For example, if I connect two routers, what is the conventional way of connecting two routers? How many ways you can connect two routers? My basic question is how many ways you can connect. So for example, I'm having two routers. For example, Breno University 1 router and Breno University 2 routers I am having. So what are the ways I can connect? I can connect with normal UTB cable, UTB cable, normal UTB cable. Then I can connect with serial. I can connect with fiber. So what is the difference? Means connecting with serial, connecting with fiber, connecting in all those things. What are the specification? Means okay. See, what is the challenges of connecting? See, first of all, when we connect these two with okay, this is RJ45 connectors. Please make sure that this will be cross cable. The rule of connecting same kind of devices means router to router, router to PC, switch to switch. Okay, all will be cross cable. Okay, so similar kind of devices connected with a cross cable, dissimilar kind of devices will be straight cable. So what is the challenges of having this connectivity with this can be connected. If I start communicating, if I connect a PC router, it will communicate. So what is the challenge here? Why I cannot use? The limitation of 100 meters. In routers also there will be huge drop. So 60% packet drop, we cannot afford to have a connectivity in between router to router. And most of the protocols in WAN. So basically, when you have two routers, we basically expect that this will be a WAN connectivity. So most of the WAN connectivity and protocols does not support this. Okay, this kind of UTP cable. So that's why we don't use this. So next comes your serial cable. So what you have to do? Serial cable you have to. Hmm? Nowadays there is no difference between straight and cross cable. All the cables coming with a common standards which can be used as a straight cable and cross cable. The problem is if you go to 700 series devices, it will never work. The conventional cable. You have to buy the old Cat5 cable and crimp it with a cross connectivity and attach it. All modern day devices will never bother whether you are connecting with this cross cable or straight cable. It will work. The common standard cable which comes in the market will work. But if you see 400 series router, 700 series router, if you have any old router, bring it. You try it. You will not. It will not work. 280 latest series. 280 it will work with normal cable. Then it will work. It will never. It will never. I'm talking about 700 series router. When I did my CCN in 1999, that time this was a problem. Specifically, people used to say that you have to use cross cable. Okay. But nowadays the advanced Cisco device, like there is no problem. No, that is always there, coming with fibers and all. No, it will actually in wiring it will not work properly because as I said that the problem is the protocols. The protocols will not. Yes. কার ও হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ চ্যান্সেলর স্যার ডেকেছে তাহলে 4:45টায় ছাড়তে হবে হ্যাঁ আমাকে ডেকেছে আজকে ওটা নিয়ে কথা বলবে হ্যাঁ ইয়েস হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ওকে ওকে স্যার থ্যাংক ইউ No, no, it is not with color code. For example, if you connect with this cable and if you are configuring MPLS, it will not work. If you are configuring frame relay, it will not work. If you are configuring the WAN technologies, never work with this cable. First of all, that's why I'm telling. So if you connect with the cable, even if you connect serial cables, okay, serial cables, MPLS will not work with serial cables. But reverse, if you have a fiber optical cables, try to implement the old, X.25 architecture, or all the frame relay and old architecture, it will not work. Not supporting this. So this is the problem. So the problem is basically you have to pay and use it. That's it. Juniper. That's why I'm telling. Juniper device is very much, compatibility is more compared to. That's why I'm telling. Juniper has taken market share, a lot of market share because of its lot of, First of all, I used to prefer Cisco iOS, but Junos is far far better than Cisco iOS. Very very stable operating system. So anyway, maybe I cannot connect with everyone because the question is going in a different direction. So if I'm connecting two cables, how I'm connecting these two devices in a WAN? See, any standard device does not come with a module which have serial cable or optical fiber cable, right? So what you have to do, স্যার আপনাদের কাছে কি কোনো ডিভাইস আছে এরকম মানে পুরনো তাহলে নেক্সট ডে নিয়ে আসবেন উইল শো ইউ হ্যান্ডস অন মানে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ we can have that devices we can have a flavor means how to configure and connect them যে কোনো হলেই আমি জাস্ট বলে দেবো কোথায় কানেক্ট হবে ফিজিক্যাল চেসিস মিন্স ইউ শুড ফিল দ্য ডিভাইস once you are doing a programming coding okay so what you have to do is when you connect these two devices okay what are the ways you can connect by default okay by default you can see that it comes with ethernet is a protocol by default it comes with ethernet connections it never comes with any other thing other than ethernet so you can easily connect them so what you have to go when you purchase that device you have to ask the vendor to provide you some modules we call it as modules because these are called modular devices okay so when you have modules let me tell you how it can be done so let me tell you, I hope it is visible to you, power off and take this module. So WIC2T is one module, SFP this is module and you have to connect, okay, this, please. No, no, এগুলো old series router. This is a very old series. ISR is a very high series router, sir. This is an old series. Cisco packet tracer আপনাকে ISS দেবে না মানে দিয়েছে একটা দুটো দিয়েছে বাট আছে এখানে আছে আমি বলে দিচ্ছি আমি না 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 normal catalyst these are all C2000 series C3000 series C4000 series these are catalysts ISR আছে 8841 আছে ISR so you don't have okay anyway means anyone if find the discussion out of the box please stop me and because see the I know means everyone not from the background sir is having huge background with the industry because sir has seen the networking world quite extensively so sir is talking about I'll come and share with you what is the Catalyst series, what is Nexus series, and all later stages. Sir, I will come with the devices later. So let me just tell you what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to attach the module. So where you can attach the modules? Let me tell you. This is the back side where you can see these are the okay. যেমন আপনারা মানে ডেস্কটপে কার্ড লাগান, বিভিন্ন রকমের কার্ড আছে, এখানে বিভিন্ন রকমের কার্ড আছে। The cards you can attach again high speed gigaport, high speed serial cable, high speed fiber optical cable. Okay, so already no yeah, this is a serial cable which is attached. So this has DC, DT. I'll come to that later. So this cable can be two devices can be হ্যাঁ বেরিয়ে চলে আসবে কিন্তু খুলবেন না স্যার না এখন টেনে লাভ নেই এটাকে একদম কার্ডের মতো আর কি কার্ডটা টানলে না এটা কার্ড মানে যদি আইটি টিমের কাছে থাকে ফাইবার অপটিক্যাল কার্ড which is very cost means this is very low cost 3000 4000 you will be getting in a pirated market and if you get you can get a new one with a 25,000 a optical fiber cable. I don't know whether it is a 10G or not, but 1G you will be able to get it. So the speed basically matters. Okay. So this is a module where I have added two okay card. So this is a router you can see, and in router let me tell you there are ports which is a okay ports which is basically default ports are there. Okay, gigaport, and we are having okay okay ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে okay okay
না না আমি এটা সামনে নিয়ে যাচ্ছি আপনি আপনি সাইড থেকে
আচ্ছা so so once you see this okay this comes with default few ports. Okay, this is gigaport. Okay, so this is gigaport. This comes with a console port. Why you need a console port? First of all, when you purchase a new router, okay, this does not have anything. You have to connect the PC with the console cable and start doing the configuration. So for example, this is a laptop I am taking, and this is my laptop, and to start the configuration what I have to do, this is a cable which is called console cable, and this cable I will connect it here with RS232, and here I will be connecting with a console port. So this is basically a connection, and you cannot double click on that router what I am doing here. So this is a router. So how to get into this router? Go to the laptop. Okay, go to desktop. Okay, there is a terminal. So terminal, there are few things like bits per second. It has to be 9600. Okay, data bit has to be 8. Parity bit has to be none. Stop bit has to be 1, and flow control has to be none. If you change this configuration, it will not work. Okay, so and you will be getting something which is called prompt. Okay, this is your new router. Once you start the router, you will be able to do the configuration. But in real world, wherefore we will get the terminal? Hyper terminal is nowhere in with Windows 11, Windows 10. So what you can do is you can actually use something that is called putty. Okay, or Teraterm, any terminal, any hyper terminal will do. What you have to do is you have to click on okay serial and choose the port, and then whether it is a COM1, COM2, COM3, you can go and right click on that devices. Okay, in your device manager, there you will see that what is the additional port came. If it is a COM1, connect it with COM1. If it is a COM2, connect with COM2. You use Teraterm. Okay, that is a very advanced version, because by default it will show you the list of old port, newly installed port, expired port, which Putty does not have. Putty is a very lightweight one. So what you have to do is you just connect that and click on OK. It will give you exactly the same flavor which you have okay here. So once you connect, it will start. What is this? Okay, what it will do? In computer also you have something called post, power on self test. It will self test all the peripherals. Then the iOS, it will show you. Here it is showing, let me tell you, Roman 1 initialized. Then it is showing that okay, Cisco iOS, this is Cisco 1900, the version and all those things. I'll come to that later, because there is a separate chapter for iOS, Cisco iOS. We'll discuss that, what is Cisco iOS and what are the things to be there in that. And where you will get all the information, go to the course and all the chapters has all those information. So you have to, it's a very huge chapter, 7 layers of OSI model itself is 1,000 pages book. So if you, once you are first time, those who are new in networking, you go through the entire course, which will tell you physical layer, data link layer and all. I'm just showing you the practical part. Okay, the practical part, the theory part, you read, and if you have a doubt, you come back and we'll be able to discuss, because I understand all of you are instructor, faculty, so you have studied basic networking in BTech and all, right? In your graduation and whatever post graduation level you have studied, so there is no problem at all. So now thing is that here the first prompt what you will get is basically called, okay, if it is router, it is router greater than sign. Okay, this is okay, a generic mode, user execution mode. So if you type en or enable, it will take you to another mode which is basically called, okay, global execution mode. After that, if you type configuration terminal, config T or configuration terminal, always this is this is no, this is user execution mode greater than one. Second is privilege execution mode. Next is configuration, global configuration mode. So if you come to this, this will be coming as a global configuration mode. I think it is CONFG config, just config CONFG config enable config T কোথায় গেল? না না ঠিক আছে, আমি এখান থেকেই লিখছি CONF config, ঠিক আছে। So now you'll be able to configure so many things in that. Okay, basically once you have a new device, new router, new switch, the configuration is same for router, switch. So what are the devices you can configure using this? So devices which you can configure is, we will do is L2 switch, layer 2 switch. We'll discuss about what is layer 2 switch. We'll talk about L3 switch. So I'm just telling you the basics of device configuration. So today I'm talking about basics of device configuration. So once you purchase a new device, whether it is L2 switch, L3 switch, router, firewall, so many things are there. So the prompt of L2 and L3 switch will be switch, and the prompt of router will be router. I said, and then you can say that no, I wanted to change the prompt. Okay, so you type something that is called host name, and if you type, sorry, there is a spelling mistake. If you type Brainware University, so if you not further, the host name will be now Brainware University. The prompt has changed now. Now this will show you BWU. Okay. There is a concept of bring your own device, BYOD. So next day onwards, if you bring your own device, laptop or so, you can do hands-on, or the labs which you can set. Okay, now I'm just, there is a term called bring your own devices. So I was attending some conference. There is written RSVP and BY, OD. I thought, what it is there? I asked one of my friends long back, almost 12 years back. That time this term was not very popular. RSVP, BYOD, what is that? So he said that this guy is actually, communicating with you. Call him; he'll be able to help you. And BYOD is bring your own device. You have to bring your own device because they will not give you anything. You configure your device. So there is a link to download all the software. Prepare your device. Come and sit. That's why. Anyway. So L2, L3, router, all the switches only have some, okay, basic configuration will be same. So what are the things you can do? You can change the host name. Okay, you can change a username and password. You can create a username. For example, if I write username, okay, for example, Brainware University, password, Brainware University. So this will be username and password which will be set. So you can set a username and password. So what are the basic necessary, Those who have studied operating system, DBMS and all, there is something called necessary and sufficient condition. So the necessary and sufficient configuration is basically to protect your console port first, right? So if you have device, someone will come and put a cable and start working and start working on your console port and change your configuration. So it's always better you should first secure your console port. Okay. So once you connect, কিটা এটা বড় এখান থেকে করতে গেলে অনেক না করা যায়, কিন্তু পরে এত ঝামেলা আছে, আপনি একটু দেখুন তো। হ্যাঁ, এটা হলেই ভালো হয়। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ না, বড় যদি করা যায় ভালো হয়, সাদা করে দিন ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডটা। ওইখানে না, এখানে যান, টুলসে গিয়ে প্রেফারেন্সেস আছে দেখুন। না না না, আমি যাচ্ছি। না না না, হ্যাঁ প্রেফারেন্সেস, এখানে ওই ফন্টে গিয়ে কালারটা চেঞ্জ করতে হবে। রাউটার আইওএস তো সিএলআই বড় করে দিন 16, এটাকে মানে ব্ল্যাকটাকে হোয়াইট করে দিন, হোয়াইট করে দিন, অ্যাপ্লাই। লেখাটাই দেখতে হবে, টেক্সটটা দেখুন, এটা হ্যাঁ হয়েছে, বন্ধ করে দিন। না হয়নি এখনো বোধ হয়, বন্ধ করে দিন তো, দাঁড়ান, এখানে কি আসবে? না না না, ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে, অসুবিধা নেই, না না কোনো অসুবিধা নেই, এখান থেকে কি হলো, আসছে না। গায়েব হয়ে গেল, না না হবে না, না না সরি, উল্টো হয়ে গেছে, ফন্টটা সেম হয়ে গেছে। না এখানে ফন্টে ফন্টে না, ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডটাকে, টেক্সটটাকে ব্ল্যাক করে দেন। না না না, এটা ব্ল্যাক করে দিন। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, ব্ল্যাক করে দিন, পিসি কনসোল টেক্সটটা ব্ল্যাক, ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডটা ব্ল্যাক, এটাকে হোয়াইট করে দিন। হ্যাঁ, হোয়াইট ব্ল্যাক, হ্যাঁ এটাকে হোয়াইট করে দিন, এবার হয়ে যাবে, এবার অ্যাপ্লাই করুন। ব্ল্যাক হোয়াইট ব্ল্যাক, হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, এবার ঠিক আছে। নো, আই থিঙ্ক ইট ইজ ওকে। বন্ধ করে দিন, বন্ধ করে দিন। না না, ওকে ওকে, বেটার। Okay. So first thing we have to do is we have to protect using a password. Okay. So I have to enable a password. The command is enable password. So once I get into that, so for example, let me tell you this command I have not executed. I just copy and paste it here. Okay. So if I come out, if I type exit, okay, then again exit, okay, so console password is not set, so console password is not set, so it is taking me directly to the user execution mode. But if I type enable, it is asking for a password, that is basically called, okay, going from a user execution mode to a privilege execution mode. When I am switching to basic user execution mode to a privilege mode, it is asking for a password. That's what we have enabled the password, where we have given a Cisco password. Okay, fair enough. Now, as I have told you that whenever you are basically configuring the console, so how I will go to a configuration a console. Okay. So there are different types of configurations. One is called interface configuration. Okay. So this is called line configuration. There are two line configurations are there. One line configuration is basically called line VTY. That is called, this is basically for telnet connecting remotely, and line console. So line con. So how many consoles you have? Only one. So you will type here line console 0. Okay. So two things what you can do is here is you give a password. Okay. Then you type something that is called simply login. Login, and first you type password Cisco and you log in. Okay. Okay. So again come out, exit, exit, and exit. It is asking for a password. Here I am giving Cisco. Again enable. It is asking for a password Cisco. So whenever I am creating a username and password, I need to use that username and password. I need to use that username and password. To use that username and password, I will change that line configuration in a different way. Where? What I have to do? I have to type line, I have to go to the line count 0, and I have to type password. Okay. I have to type login local. If I type login local, it will ask for a username and password. So again, let me see, exit or end, exit. Now it is asking me username and password which we have created. That is Brainware University BWU. So you need to understand that my command prompt and everything got changed. Even though I have given a password, it is not asking me a password for the console. It is asking username and password. Why it is asking username and password? Because when I have login password and when I write login local will supersede the old command. Okay. Now it is asking for a password, enable, and this is Cisco. Now, what is the problem if someone, a mischievous person who is an intruder, if get into a router, what they will do? They will type a command that is called showrun, SHOW, and will see all the password. Okay, username is Brainware University BWU, password is BWU. Okay, very good. I have a okay. Then I will go and check what is the password. Okay, password is Cisco. Okay, very good. Okay, I get all the passwords. So what I need to do is first let's protect the let's protect the password which I have used for going to a common user can get into a router, just view and come out, should not make any changes. So if he wants to make a changes, he should know the password for going from a user execution mode to a privilege execution mode, and the password I need to make it a encrypted password in MD5 encryption. So I will use a command. Here is enable secret. And I'm giving a password little complex, Cisco underscore Brainware University BWU 2024 or something like that. And if I type do show run, if any mischievous person is going to find out the password, you see the password is encrypted. There are John the Ripper and other tools also available. We'll tell later how the John the Ripper will help you to encrypt the password. So there are difficulty level and all those things we have to change. Okay. So anyway, John the Ripper can use the brute force attack. So MD5 basic encryption, sometimes Cisco old devices they will be able to do. The higher complexity with the latest devices. Even it is 1900 series, you copy and paste the entire code, go to a application using John the Ripper and all those different tools are there online available, paste it will show you. But there is a margin of error because it is case sensitive. It might give you small and other things, but there are level of accuracy can be there. So you have to use something which is a little higher values. Okay. Now my always target is not to keep a basic password. Rather, I will be creating a privileged users, and the privileged users will be able to use a username, password, and by which I will be able to log in into the system. I don't give a okay. I don't care what is a secret password, because I will not be able to. I will not create any normal username and password. I will create a normal user who can only view. I will create a privileged user who will be having a higher values password, and then he will be able to log in. So how to create such login, create such credentials who will be having a privilege, okay, who will be logging in using a login to this particular device with a privileged mode, okay, directly. So the command is username. So let's give my name SGN. I'm a privileged user. So here I will type privilege. Privilege 0 means normal user. Privilege 7 means little super user. Privilege 15 highest level. So if you type privilege 15, this is a super user, and after that there are options. Here, don't use a normal password. Again, create a secret password. I will write type secret 5 specific hidden secret, but this doesn't support secret 0. I'm typing Cisco at the rate Brainware University. Just keep this mind 2024. Okay, let me copy paste it. Otherwise, if I forget, I will not be able to log in to the system. Okay. So now what happened? So once you able to log in with SGN and this password Cisco on at the BW. So SGN Cisco, did I type the same? Cisco at the BWU 2024, I think, right? 2024. 2024. You can see that I am directly into privilege execution mode. I will be able to, okay, I'm logged into system. I will be able to do, okay, or run all the commands. So that is how the difference is. The commands. If you go and type help, see, this is the executions. Okay, the commands will be lesser. If you go to a real router, if you change that level, 0, you will not be able to do anything. If you go 3 and 4 basic show commands, if you start from 7, some privilege is coming. From 7. From 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, the commands will keep on changing. 15 means everything. 15 means everything. 7 means like it's not a super user, it's a little privileged user. Little privileged user. In packet tracer, you will not be able to do. Packet tracer will show everything. Huh. না ওটা ওই স্যার প্রিভিলেজের উপর, মানে প্রিভিলেজ যদি 7 থাকে ও ওইগুলো পাবে, আমি কাস্টমাইজ করতে পারবো না। কাস্টমাইজ করতে পারবো না, ওই যে আমি যে প্রিভিলেজ যে ভ্যালুটা সেট করব সেই ভ্যালু অনুযায়ী ও পাবে। 0 কিন্তু পাবেই না, মানে 0 কিন্তু শুধু শো কমান্ড ইউজ করতে পারবে, ও প্রিভিলেজ এক্সিকিউশন মোডে ঢুকতেই পারবে না। হ্যাঁ, প্রিডিফাইন্ড আছে অলরেডি, 0 to 15 প্রিডিফাইন্ড আছে। না সেরকম নেই, সেরকম iOS অপশন নেই। হয়তো iOS লেভেল প্রোগ্রামিং লিখে কিছু করা যেতে পারে, সেটা আমি এখনো করে দেখিনি, হয়তো করা যেতে পারে। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ এই তো এই কমান্ড আছে, সার্ভিস পাসওয়ার্ড এনক্রিপশন। হ্যাঁ, এটা তো আমি সিক্রেট 0 করে দিয়েছি, দেখতে পাবো না। আমি ডু শো রান করে শুধু ওই পাসওয়ার্ড গুলো দেখতে পাবো যেগুলো আমি মানে এনক্রিপ্ট করিনি। দেখুন না, এগুলো এনক্রিপ্ট আছে, এনক্রিপ্টেড পাসওয়ার্ড আই উইল বি এবল টু সি। So this password I was about to show, so BWU is the password which is clearly visible. Service password, no. না ব্রেক হয়ে যাবে, ব্রেক হয়ে যাবে। না টাইপ 5 হবে না, ওই তো বললাম জিরো ফিনো ইজিলি ব্রেক হয়ে যাবে। বললাম কপি এন্ড পেস্ট দ্য কোড, if you type do show run, I'm telling you, John the Ripper, take it. Either copy and paste the code, go to the tool, copy and paste, you will be exactly getting some minor mistakes can be there, sometimes caps lock and all. আছে বলছি তো, কিন্তু এই রাউটারে পাবেন না আপনি, নেক্সাস সিরিজের রাউটারটাকে যাবেন, ও পাসওয়ার্ডের লেন্থ অনেক বড়। If I am having that code, I could have shown you, it's a one page password. যেমন আমার আমি আগে অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেটর প্রিভিলেজ ছিল, আমি জাস্ট জানি না আমার কাছে আছে কিনা পাসওয়ার্ডটা। I could have shown you the password. If I have, I will able to show you the password, which is not easy to crack. I'm going to show you a password of a Nexus series password. It is taking time. I could have shown it to you. It's a full one-page password. Go and type it. It's a 512-bit password. Go and type it. Do it. What kind of attack you will do on a 512-bit password? Even AES can be cracked. Now people are not using. Cisco is not even using AES. They stopped doing it. For old versions of devices, they are using AES. Okay. TKIP AES is a history now. So they have changed. No, password level, all those big companies, they are not telling you what kind of algorithm they are using for encryption, first of all. So if you are thinking that, see, first of all, the software which we are using basically for a demo purpose. So in real life router, so sorry, I could not able to fetch it. So if you are working with a real life router, their business will go down, sir. A switch, they're charging you 10 lakhs and you are telling that you will hack that password using small John the Ripper and all those tools which is readily available in the internet. So this password will be next 3-4 lines will be used. Okay, anyway. So first and foremost, you have to configure the device. So you use banner, you use basic username password, you change the all those details. That is a basic configuration. So I will be able to give you that PDF files which you go through it and do it. Next thing is, we never go to the console and configure, right? What do you do? What we basically do is, basically we connect a device from a remote place, right? So what I can show you to you is, here is, let me take a switch. Okay, topology, I'll come to that later, but what I'm going to show you is basically, we take a switch, we connect that switch here, and this is how I'm giving a router 192.168.0.1, which will be basically a gateway. So 192.168.0.1 will be the IP address of the router. So let me set it here, 192.168.0.1. Okay. So all of you know subnetting, IP addressing on, or should I give a quick recap on IP addressing, subnetting, and supernetting concept? Okay. One day I will give a quick recap on IP addressing. So many things, because IP addressing, if you are thorough, then the designing part will be very easy for us. Okay. So anyway, this is my topology, and from the laptop, I'm going to configure with a IP address 192.168.0.1, and this is what my connectivity is all about. From laptop to router, I will be able to access if I configure line VTY. So there are two things. First is telnet. What is telnet? Telnet is again clear text, means it is not, SSL is not incorporated, right? So the best part is, instead of telnet, we should use SSH. Okay. So there are two things. First, I will activate SSL and show you how to connect, and then I will change it to SSH. So I will just change the transportation mode from telnet to SSH, and then I'll show you that how to connect with the SSH. Okay. So let's go and do the configuration. Here is again, I will go here and start doing the configuration. So there is a bug. There is a bug, right? There is a bug in packet tracer. I didn't do anything. I just went to that without giving the password. Went to that. So this is a bug actually. So this kind of bug is there in Cisco packet tracer. I didn't enter the username and password. I directly came into the mode because in GUI this flexibility is there. So it is it. See, I skipped that username and password. So that's a bug actually. That's a Cisco packet tracer bug. And few students ask me, sir, I'm not asked for username and password. I'm directly into a privilege mode, sir. And why it is happening? Because this is a bug in packet tracer. It's not that real life router will be able to get into that. I'm double clicking on that particular interface and I'm doing it. Okay, anyway. So next thing is line VTY. You can have 04, you can have 016. So parallelly, how many number of users can be connected? Through login, 0 to 4 means 4 to 5 users. Okay. So line, telnet port 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it supports up to 0 to 15. So 16 concurrent user can be connected. So normal standard configuration. Huh? Yes. No, you can make it na 0 to 4, then 5 to 16. This will not support, but line with UI. So, for example, here you write login, but the problem is something else. Until unless you are having first 4 concurrent user used, then it will go to fifth mode, and means the fifth user will be able to use using that. And you never know who is asking what password, username password. So it's a random. It's there. That's not that you are having 10 username and password. The first one will be able to use port 0. Second one will be able to use port 1. It's not like that. It's a random. All ports can be used by all. So that's the problem. Okay. So anyway, line VTY 04, I type login local. Then here one thing I am going to show you is execution timeout. Execution timeout 00 means once you log into a system, okay, it will never log out. And if you wanted to make a restrictions, that idle sessions like 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, so many things. If you write 0, 15, every 15 seconds it will log you out automatically. Okay. Second is logging synchronous. The problem is that sir was asking that, okay, how many users can be logged in? All login can be synchronous. Okay, synchronous means, for example, I am executing a command and sir is deleting that command. So if my execution is first, my data will means my command will be executed in the system first, then sir's, because it is synchronous. So that database will be updated, and after the sir's command, then it will be executed next. It's the first come first serve basis purely. So logging synchronous is basically used for that purpose only. So now I'll be able to use using telnet. So how to use telnet? Go to login and then you type the command telnet 192.168.0.1. Username I can type Brainware University BWU. It will be able to log in. Yeah. So this is basically telnet. So I wanted to change the telnet to SSH. So there are few things it will ask for configuration to be done. First, it will the name you have used. So, uh, হ্যাঁ ওয়েবসাইট এতেও আছে এতেও ওয়েবসাইট আছে এখানেও আছে আপনার এখানে ওয়েবসাইট আছে এখানে নেট ফ্লো কানেক্টর আছে বাট ওয়েবসাইট লাগাতে গেলে রিয়েল লাইফে লাগিয়ে মজা মানে জাস্ট ফর এক্সাম্পল you create means next at the end of these sessions, once you go through the second module or third module, we'll share there is a completely chapter of packet tracer and the tracing with Wireshark. There is a chapter, so we will show you that how to read those. So there are a lot of tools are there. Sniffing tools a lot. It's not only Wireshark, you can customize a lot of tools and use it. Netflow analyzer. So a lot of tools are there. So Wireshark is one of the good tools, but there are small tools also available. Or if you wanted to create more, you can use Sudikata, Isgul, a lot of other things. You have a best tool that is the Nmap, which also. So there are different tools by which you can do a lot of packet tracing, sniffing, and all those things. So it depends means what is basically you are trying to do. Okay, packet tracer will be able to analyze the packet. But if you wanted to do something like IDP, IDS, and other things, there are different tools available. Here also there is different tools available. Okay, anyway, so let me just come and show it to you. Okay, first you have to create something that is called IP domain name. Here, so if you type, so let me show you in 04. Okay, here if you type transport input SSH, it will change, but it will say that no, I will not be able to do it because I am not able to read that transport version of SSH because SSH is not activated. Let me type transport input SSH. Okay, it will not work because it is not activated. Why it is not activated? So you have to first create IP domain name. Domain name. Hmm? No, it is not giving error, but it will not work. So the command which you have use to enable that is basically called crypto key. You have to create a key. Crypto key generate. Here you are having an option for RSA only. Crypto key generate RSA. So how many 1024 or 2154? Okay. Now if you go and go to line VTY04 and if you type transport input SSH, it is showing you that SSH 1.99 has been enabled. So now you will be able to see that once you create that cryptographic algorithm and you created that, so these are the prerequisites. You have to create a host name, you have to create a domain name, you have to create a cryptographic algorithm, crypto key generate SSH, and then if you type transport input SSH, it will be able to help you out to log in using that. So here, what you have to do is you have to use exit, and now it is able to log in using SSH. Now the look and feel there is no difference, but problem is this is you and this is your router. Once you are using telnet, the cookies and all, it is basically taking you clear text password. Even though it is encrypted, the clear text password is passing. So that's why you need SSL. For SSH, you need SSL. So this is a secure socket layer. So that password will not be able to capture in between. So it is passing. It's not that this passing through only one device. It may pass through 100 devices in between. And Sir is talking about Wireshark tools. So if it is a clear text password, you will be very happy. Oh, that guy ये password hai. Every day someone is logging in, and you will be able to see that this is the password. So if the password can be sniffed and password can be taken by any user who is there in the network, it's a problem. So that's why we need to use SSH. That's a basic things. What you need to do is You need a break or something. Okay, continue. Oh, interesting sessions going on. So that's a very basic configurations. So once we talk about connections, cables, all of you know that there are cables which you will be able to do it here. What we have done it here, shown that this is a UTP cable. All of you know the color code. There are four pair of cable. Okay, so let me just tell you. Let's say blue pair, green pair, orange pair, and brown pair. Can anyone tell me which are the pair responsible for communication? No, the pair color, orange and green. Orange and green. So you can have white, orange, orange, white, blue, green, white, blue, and cross that cable 1 to 2, 3 to 6. You'll be able to get a cross values. 568 A and B. So the B is basically we are using, that is starting with white, orange, orange, then white, blue, sorry, white, green, blue, white, blue, green. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 6. Then white, brown, and brown. So if you change, white, orange becomes white, green, orange becomes green, white, green becomes white, orange, blue, white, blue, and this becomes orange. This is a type convention. So A and B. B is having white, orange, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, white, brown, brown. And here the convention is white, green, green, white, orange, blue, white, blue, orange, then white, brown, brown. So 1, 2. Okay. So 1 is basically 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 6. So basically here it is 1, 2, 3 and 2 to 6. This is basically, okay, we call it as T plus T minus and we call it as R plus R minus. So this is, okay, transmission and receiving. When it is a direct transmission and receiving, it is a cross cable. Normally we use either A or B. In India or in wherever we are using, like US, India, they are all using, okay, B convention, whereas Japan is using, most of the cases few European countries are using A convention. So you'll hardly get in Indian market any cable which is having both side A. Okay, but there are cables we have to find out. Indian market is very the market is such, you will be able to find out everything in the market. Go to Chandni itself, you will be able to find out. But we are having a huge market, online market, you will be able to get everything. So you just have to search for it. Okay. Now in between two devices, okay, two routers, we basically called R1 and R2. So R1 and R2 normally used WAN link. Why we call it as WAN link? Let me tell you. So here I will be introducing one concept that is called collision domain and broadcast domain. All of you know what is collision domain and what is broadcast domain? What is the difference between collision domain and broadcast domain? Collision domain is a domain which is created from one MAC address interface to another MAC address interface. Right. So I'm having a switch 1, and I'm having a switch 2. Okay. If this is connected, this is one MAC address to another MAC address, this is called on one collision domain. Right. So let me create a topology and tell me H means hub, it is L1 device. H means hub, L1 device. We call it as hub. Hub or repeater, H or R, repeater, it's L1 devices. Now, can anyone tell me how many collision domain are here? How many collision domain? This is router, this is switch, these two are hub, H1 and H2, these two are hub. How many collision domain? With 4. Only 2. Only 2. Only 2. Because router 1 is generating a MAC address, MAC 1, this is MAC 2. So this is one collision domain. This is another interface which is MAC 3, and this is another interface which is called MAC 4. This is another interface. No, you are having a one more interface also. Yeah, sorry. So it is a 3 actually. Sorry, it's not 2, it's 3. So 1, 2, 3 is not 4. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, but this is called, okay, this is a not a good collision domain, because this collision domain is overlapping collision domain. You can see. Starting point is same. So if you consider this as a broadcast domain, it is okay. But collision domain is a overlapping. So this will create a lot of problem. And you have to introduce a protocol, which I'll come to that later, spanning tree protocol, which will safeguard your this kind of connections. So I'll come to that later. Okay. So you need to have spanning tree protocol, otherwise it will keep on disturbing you because this is an overlapping collision domain. But otherwise, this is a three collision domain because this is generating a. So this is one Mac 1 to Mac 2, Mac 3 to Mac 4, and Mac 3 to Mac 5. This is also another port. But these two are overlapping. So you need to have some mechanism so that because this is a port and here whatever communication will be there, this will conflict with each other. So either one of the link will be active. So one link always passive, one link always active. So this kind of uh, connections will be there. Now next I need to tell you one thing that is called broadcast domain. So what is a broadcast domain? For example, this router R1 is connected to, okay, three networks, so N1, N2 and N3. So this will basically call gateway. So whatever interface is there, so if I'm router is having three interface, it will be creating a three gateway. So how many gateways are there? That will create a broadcast domain. So if it is a one gateway, this is a one broadcast domain, another gateway, another broadcast domain. So if a router is connecting to so many devices, so router to router, okay, we don't have a gateway concept here. It is one network is connected to another network. So it is, so there are two types of connections. It is called all are default networks. So this is not default network. This will be another network with another routing domain. So if your two routing domains are there, I have to connect with a WAN link. So two devices, when I'm connecting with a WAN link, I have to find out that what are the cables can be there. So here I can use, okay, serial cable. So serial cable can be used here. Then you will be having, okay, optical fiber cable. I have already taken an optical fiber connection. So optical fiber cables are there. So already I have shown it to you that there is a provision of this. So these are the three types of connections. The third one, as I said, that if you are talking about this, gigaport Ethernet or terabyte Ethernet, the limit, there is a lot of limit. For example, this is building 1. So building 1 to 5, if I am having two routers and I am using this cable, this will never work. Distance is so, there will be not 100% packet loss, but packet loss will be huge. It is always preferred if you are using serial cables also, there will be a lot of challenges. So packet loss will be there. That's why whenever we are connecting in between buildings, we always go for, okay, fiber. And if this distance is, I suppose this distance is higher, so I have to go for a single mode connections, because multi-mode connections, multi-mode cables. So multi-mode connectors, multi-mode cables are basically used for short distance connections. Whereas, for example, this building router to ground floor PC, okay, instead of cables, I will be going for a multi-mode. Nowadays, we always prefer to use a single mode connections, because single mode connections are not only faster, the distance will be more in, miles. For example, you are connecting Brainware University with some other university, for example, in IIT Delhi you are connecting. So you can have a single mode cable from here to there. You don't have to use a repeater. And if you go for a 12, 25G communication with a very good Nexus 4500 series router, absolutely fine. It will work. It will support, but the cost is very high. It will be in crores. So that's why we always go for a third-party vendor who can provide us this connection. For example, I'll ask Geo. I will ask any service provider who can give me that, okay, connections. Through that connection, I will be using my intranet, and they will be giving me that, okay, virtual private network and tunneling. All those things I will cover in the module 2. What is tunneling? What are all those concepts are there? IPsec, VPN, all those things are there in the module 1, module 2. So module 1 is all about the 7 layers of OSI model. So 7 layers of OSI model, you will be having a basic configuration, right? So in basic configuration, let me just come back and tell you the very important topic is basically with the IP basic router configuration. I have done configure initial router configuration. So I would request you, all of you, to go through this basic concept of physical LAN which I have covered. Chapter 1 to 3 is very basic. You keep on completing all those things, it is very basic. This particular module, I will tell you to do a self study. Okay. You share with me the Excel sheet. Everyone will be getting a. See, I have already. You guys already enrolled. I think you can see those who are already there as a part of Cisco Networking Academy. I just onboarded them automatically. But I have to do the onboarding process for the rest of the faculty members because I have to make them instructor. You share all those details with me. I'll be making them. So all of you will be getting a mail from Cisco. You have to go and activate. You have to activate your membership. You will become a instructor, and eventually you will be able to share see that courses. If you have any difficulty tomorrow, by today I will be doing it. So tomorrow you will be able to see everything on your dashboard. Okay. So this course, okay, then you will be able to log in into skills for all and this Cisco Networking Academy, all those courses. Now, module 4 to 7 is all about this type of connections. What is Ethernet? Types of Ethernet. Okay, normal Ethernet, fast Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet. So you have lot of topics related to this basic communication. So probably tomorrow I'm going to talk about IP addressing. I hope all of you know IP addressing. All of you know IP addressing. So we'll be giving you a quick brush up of what is IPv4 addressing, what is IPv6 addressing. So maybe whatever topics I'm teaching might be all of you know. So it's a little boring, but believe me, my rest module 2 and 3 is very new to you because you have not never studied all those things because that's a hardcore industry. Those who have studied CCNA, for example, studies very industry oriented person, he has already seen that. So that courses which is there in the topic. Okay, all of you have gone through the course, right? Gone through the course means what are the topics are there already. Sarah has shared, that's a CCNA course. So you need to complete all the courses, and that courses basically divided into 3 modules: CCNA 1, 2, 3. All the basics are part of CCNA 1. That is all 7 layers of Wi-Fi model. In all 7 layers of Wi-Fi model, all the layers and their functionalities are there. Okay. So I will be showing you a little bit in packet tracer what is a DHCP server after a while. So IP addressing part I will be covering the next day. Okay. So after IP addressing, you are having network layer, which is basically talking about how to design, building and securing small network, or how to designing a network. So what do you mean by designing a network? What do you mean by designing a network? It's an IP-based network, so you have to create a topology. So topology means formation of the network. So you can say this is a topology. Okay. Can anyone tell me what is the topology there in Brainware University? Can anyone tell me? Have you ever gone through it? Have you ever explored by using some basic commands and other things? No. It's a hybrid, but I'm talking about topology, means the connectivity. What are how many routers, how many switches? No, hub spoke is not there in Brainerd because it's a LAN. So it will be hybrid, not hub and spoke, because hub and spoke, if you would like to implement, then you need to have more number of routers. I don't believe that Brainerd University has purchased so many number of routers. Because normally what happens, it's a basic infrastructure, right? So they will be using with L3. It's a hybrid. It's a tree topology. You can say it's a tree topology, but I will say it's a hierarchical switching network. Hierarchical switch network. That's it. If I am not mistaken, okay. Let me just tell you. I don't believe that here you have a router. Because morning I was going through packet tracing. We don't have a router. This is ISP. You have multiple ISP. These multiple ISPs are connected to Sophos. I was just morning. I was going through it. So it's a XG500 series. Then you have a L3 switch. You have a DHCP server which is connected to L3 switch, and then you have a hierarchical switch. So one building switch to another building switch. This is basically core switch, and you will be having distributor switch and access switches. Not more than that. This is a switched tree architecture. I hope so, because once you go to any network, sorry to say, IT people will be very annoyed with me. I always, huh? No, Sophos. If you have DHCP server in Sophos, this network will become more than pathetic. You need to have a DHCP server in switching level. If you have Sophos working as a DHCP server, the network will ये रैंक तो हुए भी नहीं जाएगा मतलब इतना खराब हो जाएगा it will be too bad. Never ever use switch router any kind of device as a DHCP server. The reason is the overhead is huge. You go for L3 switch, there you create subnets. I think IP config just না মাল্টিপল গেটওয়ে দেখাচ্ছে ভিলেন আছে অনেক 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 নেটওয়ার্ক বানিয়ে রেখেছে 50 বানিয়েছে 17 বানিয়েছে প্রচুর না বিকজ ওরা কি করেছে যেটা আমার মনে হয় আপনার একটাকে করে রেখেছে ডিএমজেড যেখানে আপনার ল্যাব গুলো ওখানে মনে হয় আমার খুব সম্ভবত মনে হয় ইউজার নেম পাসওয়ার্ড লাগে না কিছু জোনে ওটাকে ওই জোনে রেখে দিয়েছে বাকিগুলোকে এই সোফোসের এই জোনে রেখে দিয়েছে যেখানে আপনার ওই রুটিং এ আপনার একটা ইউজার এন্ড পাসওয়ার্ড লাগবে উইথ অথেন্টিকেশন সো ইউ ক্যান অ্যাকচুয়ালি এটাকে আরো ভালোভাবে করা যায় এসডি ওয়ান দিয়ে যেটা এখানে করা হয়নি এসডি ওয়ান দিয়ে কনফিগার করে ডিএমজেড মানে ওটাকে ডিএমজেড মানে ওইভাবে করে রেখেছে ডিএমজেড মানে হচ্ছে ওটাকে ডিএমজেড বলবো না আমি এটাকে ডিএমজেড না বলে এটাকে বলবো ক্লায়েন্টলেস ডিএমজেড একটু বাজে কথা বলে ফেললাম ডিএমজেড হলে ও আমার নেটওয়ার্কের বাইরে হয়ে যাবে ডিনিউট্রাইজ জোন হয়ে যাবে নট No, sir. DMZ is not basically with the server. DMZ is basically the zone which you don't want under this Sophos monitoring. No, not less privilege. For example, the chancellor said you don't want him to be coming under this privilege zone. Make it part of this DMZ or VC or maybe privilege user. You have third-party web servers which need not to be under Sophos because that's basically within the policy. If it is running, that particular device may not work, so you have to keep it in DMZ. So the demilitarized zone. That's the thing. Okay. Anyway, so once you go and find out that the gateway is basically visible here, the subnetting you can see 240. We can actually find out how many subnets are there. But here the design is good. The design is good means we can actually have so many IP addresses, and they have very cleverly used public IP addresses in a private mode. So additional unregistered address. It's not public, unregistered address rather we can say, but it is unregistered IP address is a very good term, but it is basically a public category. Unregistered address is a public category address, but it is smart move that instead of using 10, they are using 50, 14, all those things. But anyway, if it is conflicting with any ISPs, eventually you will not be able to access that site. That's the bad part of designing this unregistered IP address. For example, I am designing a server. Amazon server is starting with 50. Okay, it will never take you to that server because it will be what will happen. The local DNS will resolve. The local DNS resolver will find out the 50 network is in your home. You will try to find out from the local who is that 50. So, for example, when you ping, yeah, that's it. For example, ping www.aws.com, for example, if you ping. So, the basic thing is, first thing is, it is resolving the IP address. So, I have seen 18 network is there inside your one of the area. So, if 18, this particular IP is overlapping, okay, it will ping, but it will not be able to access that particular website. Hmm? No, no, this is from global side. If this network is there in local network, for example, if 18 dot something, the same subnet is there, it will not be able to take you. The local gateway itself will take you to that particular device, and you will be able to, okay, landed up in a different network altogether, because it will never take you to the global gateway, because local gateway is saying, okay, I'm having 18 network, come here, I'm giving you 18 IP. So that's the thing. Okay. Hmm. My wish, I'm not saying no, my wish, I wanted to do anything. There is no, there is no you know, there is nothing called why. My wish, I can use using any IP address. My wish. I'm using subnetting. I will be able to do it, but has a special kind of configuration they might have done, because the local gateway will never entertain. We can have a lot of configuration that okay, any kind of IP addresses which is not predefined, it will never search in local gateway, because normally these are /30 /20, and here you are using 240. So itself is a different zone, different, okay, network. So it's a different network. It will never ask for your local network, because there it is /26 /28, something like that. So it will never take you, because you are already having /20. So of course that is /20 CIDR notation is different, so it will not take. Okay, anyway, that's IP addressing. I will come and discuss. So I'll show you a small demonstration how to configure a DHCP server. Okay, so let me take a router. ঠিক আছে অসুবিধা নেই. Okay, so router can also work as a DHCP server. I can take L3 switch. I'm not taking L3 switch today. So L3 switch can also be act as a DHCP server. I am taking a server which can also act as a DHCP server, and so router this two DHCP server. What is the problem? I'm going to show you today. Okay. After that we can take a break, because I'm keep on. হ্যাঁ, না না, আমি ঠিক আছে, আমি কর্পোরেট ট্রেনিং নিয়েছিলাম, মানে দিয়েছি তো অনেক, মানে আমার 8 ঘন্টা 10 ঘন্টা বলতে অসুবিধা হয় না। আর এগুলো খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং টপিক, বলতে 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 মানে, না বলুন বলুন স্যার, আরে বলুন স্যার, হ্যাঁ বলুন বলুন বলুন, না না বলুন। সেশন লেয়ার নর্মালি সেশনকে হ্যান্ডেল করে স্যার। ফর এক্সাম্পল, এবার ধরুন আপনার মানে ওটা ট্রান্সপোর্ট লেয়ারকে আর অ্যাপ্লিকেশন লেয়ার মধ্যে একটা ইন্টারফেস। এবার আর কি করে, মানে সেশনটাকে হ্যান্ডেল করছে। আপনার ধরুন আপনার একটা সার্ভার, a server is required to handle, for example, 10 lakh concurrent sessions. So each and every sessions need to be handled, na? So application layer, presentation layer is basically handling the application security and all, but the sessions need to be managed, na? For example, telnet, I said 50 telnet sessions are there, 50 telnet sessions are there, and they are concurrent. So I need to manage each sessions, na? So application layer, telnet or SSH is combined. So if I write transport input, when I write transport input SSH or transport input all, so for example, I am having 30 clients who are connected through telnet and 20 clients who will be connected through SSH. So transport layer not, or application layer will not be able to understand that how session handler is working. So here the session layer job is basically to segregate all the sessions.
So it will manage by the OS or it will manage by the device.
No, means I need to understand the topology first of all. No, 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 no. If it is a router, it is device. এক সেকেন্ড ধরুন এটা আপনার রাউটার এখানে আপনার ওএস আছে লাইনাক্স সান সোলারিস হ্যানা ত্যানা অমুক তমুক আছে so you are having one session connected so this session is different so this is opening a TCP port and this is opening a TCP port now here this iOS and this operating system these two device have their application layer the application layer only initiated so this session has a different altogether this session has a different flavor compared to this particular session which is connected to a Windows server so this session is different this session is different so the handling of the session is done by session layer of course the protocol is same the session layer is also running inside the router iOS yes if you go and type the commands it will show you how many sessions are concurrently there so if you wanted to kill a particular session, go to the OS, go to any of the OS and kill that session. Telnet will not close. If you go to the application and kill the telnet, all sessions will be down. So, sir, yes. But this is not only done by one layer. You have to also have something in the presentation layer and other layers also. Presentation layer because you have to change that, na? You have to change that presentation part means if you kill that it is initiated through because the protocol is there in all the three layers so the initiation is started from application layer but application layer if I am killing the all applications all the sessions will be terminated if I am killing the presentation part all the connections will be terminated but if I am targeting one sessions okay then one sessions it's I can do it part sessions the filtering yes I'll come to ACL part I'll show it to you the question is that whenever the two device or something else, some PC2 router, some PC2 server. So this is two device and whenever PC2 router, PC2 server. No, it is already no, it's a application layer protocol itself different. Connectivity a process ID is generated. Particular against that is IPC you are talking about. I'm talking about network perspective. You're talking about OS perspective, right? Process ID is generated OS perspective. That is application layer job. Router having same OS. iOS no. When you are talking about IPC is handled by nothing but application layer protocols, applications. There is nothing doing with session layer. IPC will never come into the session layer. If it is network, if it is a network connections, then only okay that particular connection is handled because see the functionality of OSI model where it is when the communication will okay will start working see if you look into the communication it is application layer protocol right so application layer protocol has handled all the three layers functionality application layer which is you are talking about IPC then presentation part that security AAA part and also it created session so, for example, you are downloading. If you are downloading, sometimes what happens? The best part of session handling is basically we do it in FTP server. A client is asking for concurrent sessions. I am restricting that particular client to, for example, 10 concurrent sessions or 5 concurrent sessions or 1 concurrent sessions. If you go to FTP programming, that is FTP server, the session handler. Yeah, that's session handler. Yeah, and user wise session handler. User wise session handler. But my question is that we consider the cache server as a it will consider in the system layer. No, it's not. Actually, it's not a session layer you can identify because in computer or in computer network it is all about applications. So application layer protocols and functions are actually managing all the functionality. So it's a programming part. You cannot visualize because it's a programming part. When you are doing a programming part, there you have to specify this. Just direct question it is a programming part. So when you write IPC, there in IPC when you write chat client, chat server, telnet client, telnet server, you specify that. Okay, that you have to. Means we are getting into the ways and programming part. Okay, anyway. So it's a small thing. Let me show it to you. Anyway, discussion was very interesting, but anyway, we can have a separate sessions on this programming part. Anyway, so I'm creating a small topology. This is also a small topology, and when once you look into the topology, okay. Hmm? File লাগছে ওকে ওকে সরি ঠিক আছে সরিয়ে দিন না ঠিক আছে অসুবিধা নেই হুম, হুম। So this is a network I have created, one router and several devices are there. So now if all the devices are going to get connected in the network, how they will be connected? I can go to each and every device and manually give IP address, right? But here, since I'm taking a router, I want a router to act as a DHCP server. So what I'm doing is here, let me tell you, my network is 192.168.0.1. As all of you know, this is my network. See, network, what are the things will be there? So 192.168.0.0/24 network, and here I have given a router interface IP 192.168.0.1. So this is a gateway. So I go to that router interface gateway and make this router as a DHCP server, which Sir was telling and other people were telling that I can make Sophos as a DHCP server, I can make L3 as a DHCP server. The problem is that it will take a lot of overhead. Otherwise, there is no problem. I can make router as a DHCP server in your home. You actually have that router which is acting as a DHCP server. All the IP address is coming from them. But in organization or enterprise, you can have that device as a DHCP server. Even though AP is there, even though any wireless and wired devices, you should have a DHCP server which will be dedicatedly catering all the VLAN and other services. And that is the reason I have added a server which will act as a DHCP server. I will tell you later. So VLAN I'm not going to cover today. VLAN maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow I'll be covering the VLAN part. So what I want that router to act as a DHCP server, because all the devices should get the IP address from the router itself, and by default it is a bug of Cisco packet tracer again. But normally what happens, if you connect any device in the network, by default it is a DHCP client. It is set to 0.0.0. It's broadcast its MAC address. It's a DHCP request go to everywhere. Whoever is getting the request, all of you studied this. Whoever is getting the request will respond and provide you the IP address from the pool. In Linux, it starts from the back, and in Windows, it starts from the beginning. That's why it is providing you the IP addresses. So you will be all eventually you will be getting IP address. That's the thing. So let's configure the router as a DHCP server. So when I configure router as a DHCP server, so first I have to write IP DHCP excluded address, the router address, that is 192.168.0.1. That's my excluded address. Then I will write here as IP DHCP. I have to create a pool basically, pool Brainware University. Then I have to write default router 192.168.0.1. Then I have to write specify the network 192.168.0.0, 255.255.255.0. It's a very basic configuration what we have. Then we save, and then what will happen, we go to the each and every devices. Starting with the router, you can see that devices are getting IP address automatically, DHCP. All are getting DHCP IP address automatically. What is the problem? Router is becoming a server now. So if router is doing the job of a server, server will say, hey boss, what I will do? You're taking my job. So the problem is if I keep on going and creating that, okay, devices, everyone will get a IP address. Now, I wanted to make that server as a DHCP server. What I have to go and do in any Linux or any Windows based Windows server based machine, what you have to do, you have to create a scope. First, you have to tell what is the default gateway 192.168.0.1. This is my default gateway, and you have to create the scope. And as per the scope, DHCP server, you have to go and activate that DHCP server and client, and eventually, okay, all the client will send the request to the server. Now, tell me, in this case, if I make this router, I have to first make this as a static IP address. So 192.168.0.2. I have to make this as a default IP address gateway. I go to the services, and it is always good that I need to give a basic DNS server in a environment. Okay. Now let me ask you a very basic question. If this is my new DHCP server, if I connect it to the network, who will respond? The server or router? How the communication goes? See, communication is always in any communication system. It will always look for a gateway. What is gateway? A দরজাটা. This is a দরজা. আপনারা সবাই এই দরজা দিয়ে বেরোবেন. Will choose this. Okay. Door. No one will open that window and jump. So here everyone is asking the gateway. কাকে বলবে? রাউটারকে. He give me the IP address. Until this router is redirecting the request, the default gateway to the router, because if I am not specifying in the network with the DHCP server, if my gateway or the network should know who is my DHCP server, then only the DHCP server will start functioning. So that's why we take some configuration that is called helper address and tell that this is the DHCP server. We always configure that. So until unless we give that this is a DHCP server, and we also see that what is DHCP swooping, and all this stuff later on I will come and discuss. The problem is that the router will say, I am the server. कौन है server? मैं हूँ server. So router will cater the services. So I have to tell the router, you should be a backup server, and you redirect all the requests to DHCP server. Otherwise, what will be happening? The network, there will be a conflict. What other conflicts are there? Both are same networks. So both the devices can get same IP address. And if it is there, then the network will be problematic. So normally, this is a very common attack before DDoS attack. This is a very common attack. You make your network. I used to play around in the hostel when I used to stay long back, almost 25 years back. मुझे internet connection नहीं मिलता था. What I used to do? Make my PC as a static IP. Make my machine as a DHCP server. सब बंद हो गया. Then I'm using the network because I am the most available device for the topology to cater their need. Whenever they are connected, so आधे लोगों को इंटरनेट मिल रहा है, आधे लोगों को नहीं मिल रहा है. क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है? Why they are not getting? কেন হবে না? এই জন্য পাবে না কারণ আমি গেটওয়ে চেঞ্জ করে দিয়েছি তো. আমি বলছি না ওটা 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 হচ্ছে রাস্তা, ওখান দিয়ে ঝাঁপ দাও বেরোতে পারবে. এটা রাস্তা আমি দেখাচ্ছি না কাউকে. তাহলে এই kind of attack also is there. It's a very common kind of attack. We used to play around, long back. I'm talking about almost 1998, 1999. These are very common attacks, and Windows XP could not find out this. Windows XP, there are a lot of DDoS attacks. কেউ পাঠিয়েছে net send command? Anyone of you use net send command? Net send? Anyone have used this command? পরীক্ষায় গিয়ে বা কোথাও গিয়ে নেট সেন্ড কমান্ড ইউজ করে দিন, নেট সেন্ড ব্রডকাস্ট, পুরো নেটওয়ার্কটা জ্যাম হয়ে যাবে, সবাইকে ব্রডকাস্ট করা শুরু করবে আননেসেসারি। নেট সেন্ড কমান্ড, নেট সেন্ড স্টার্ট, সবাইকে ব্রডকাস্ট। এটা উইন্ডোজ এক্সপি সব থেকে বড় বাগ, যেটা উইন্ডোজ 7 এসে দূর করেছে। উইন্ডোজ এক্সপি মেশিন আমাকে দিলে আমি সবার আগে ডিডোস অ্যাটাক ইউজ করবো, পুরো নেটওয়ার্কটাকে ডিনাল অফ সার্ভিস, রাউটারকে ডিডোস অ্যাটাক দিয়ে পাগল করে দেবো। নেট সেন্ড করে সকাল থেকে 2-3 ঘন্টা করে দিলে পুরো নেটওয়ার্কটা জ্যাম হয়ে যাবে। তারপর আমার নিজের ডিএসসিপি সার্ভার স্ট্যাটিক আইপি, আমি সুন্দর ইন্টারনেট ইউজ করছি, কেউ করছে না। তো আই ইউজ টু প্লে অ্যারাউন্ড দিস। বুঝতে অনেক টাইম লেগেছে। আমাকে বলছে, আরে ইউ আর ভেরি মিস্টিভিয়াস। নাও আই জাস্ট টেস্টিং দ্য নেটওয়ার্ক স্যার, হাউ গুড ইউ হ্যাভ ডিজাইন দ্য নেটওয়ার্ক। আইটি ছেলেটা বলছে, আরে আপনি তো মেরে কো পরেশান করকে রাখ দিয়া। আই জাস্ট টেস্টিং। সকাল সকালে এসে আমি কাজটা করতাম, আমার খুব ভালো লাগতো আর কি তখন, কম বয়স তো, জাস্ট টু প্লে অ্যারাউন্ড উইথ দিস ডিডস অ্যাটাক। ডিডস অ্যাটাক মানে কি, আমি ছাড়া ওই রাউটারেও ইন্টারনেট ফেসিলিটি নেই, ওকে এত পিং করে দিয়েছি, ও পিং অফ ডেথ নিয়ে বসে আছে, মানে ডেথ হয়ে গেছে আর কি। So this kind of attack is very common. Ping of death is a very common attack you can use, and probably using Windows XP machine, you use this command netsend, and you just go and Google it, netsend command, and using netsend command how to do ping of death in the network, it will tell you. But ping of this netsend command is deactivated in Windows machine. You have to write a small shells, PowerShell script to deactivate and generate this DDoS attack. Try it out, but don't try it in Brainware University. ওরা ডিম স্যার বলেছিল, আমরা করে দেখেছি। আগে আমাকে এসে ধরবে, কি হলো আপনি এসে কেন, why you are teaching all those mischievous things? Because that is how students mindset is all about, and that's the reason we used to use all those DHCP snooping, all those type of configuration we first do in the network, so that this kind of packet should not be generated. Okay, প্রচুর জায়গা দেখবেন সবার আগে পিনটাকে বন্ধ করা থাকে, DHCP request flooding বন্ধ করা থাকে। Any good network, wherever I used to tell this, two things you have to stop in the network. First, ping. আপনি কোনো ভালো নেটওয়ার্কে যদি যান, ভালো এন্টারপ্রাইজ নেটওয়ার্কে, টিসিএস এ জানি না, কিন্তু আমি ইএনওয়াই তে গিয়েছিলাম একবার, আমি বন্ধুটাকে বলছি পিং করে দেখ এমনি ক্যাফেটেরিয়াতে, বলছে পিং করলে এক্ষুনি আমাকে জেলে ধরে নিয়ে যাবে। দ্য রিজন ইজ ভেরি, মানে দিস ব্যান্ড is written, you cannot ping any device. If it is not working, call the IT team, they will come and resolve. If your network is not working, anything is not working, don't test yourself in the network, because these are commands they have prohibited. So lot of restrictions you have to do it in a environment, so that this kind of attacks should not happen. Like DNS, if you have any kind of communication where DNS rerouting applications, if you are installed, the laptop itself will be okay, banned. Otherwise you will keep on doing a DNS rerouting. All the kind of request will be rerouted through some third party applications, and also this is a very dangerous thing. So here what is happening, server and router both are a DHCP server. So my request should go to the server, and I need to configure the network so that anyone other than this should not work. So when I come to the switching part, the next module, I will show you that how to make a port which is an authentic port for DHCP, and other ports I need to block, even the router port. Gateway should not be, okay, gateway port is a different port, and DHCP client port should be different ports. So all ports need to be defined. See, the best part of it, any L2 managed switch, please understand, any L2 managed switch, all port can be configured. So this is a L2 managed switch, so all port can be configured. So this port is basically, okay, used, so all the requests will be forwarded through these packets. Okay, so all those configuration you need to make in the network, so that DHCP should not have multiple DHCP. So what we will be doing, we will be pruning that. DHCP pruning means only connecting to the server, that request will forward, all other ports, okay, will be blocked for sending a DHCP request. So whatever DHCP request will come, it will go to the server only, rest of the part will not entertain, or rather the switch itself will delete, because it is connected with the core switch. So this kind of configuration you need to do. There are small other things also can be done in this particular server. So in this particular server, you can also have DNS. What is DNS? You know that, okay, this configuration. But I would recommend, if I am having time, I would recommend that all of you install a virtual box, install a small Linux server, Ubuntu or Kali, and there you configure all those things and check in that small topological environment. Check 2-3 PCs and check that whether there is DNS, DHCP, all those servers works or not. Because in Windows Server or any server based environment, it is better to configure, and that configuration cannot be done in this Cisco packet tracer. So it's 4.8 anyway. না না L2 তে হবে, L2 ভালো ভালো সুইচ আছে। এই 2960 ভালো সুইচ, এগুলো হয়ে যাবে, ডিএসসিবি প্রুনিং হয়ে যাবে। 2960 তো ভালো সুইচ, বেসিক হয়ে যাবে। হ্যাঁ, হুম, 2960 তো হয়ে যাবে। হয়তো এইচএসসি হবে না, কিন্তু অরিজিনাল 2960 সুইচে হয়ে যাবে। এটা কি আছে? এটা হচ্ছে না, এটা আমরা আজকে দেখাচ্ছি না, পরের দিন আই উড রেকমেন্ড, আই উইল ব্রিং মাই ওন কনসোল কেবল, আই মেক শিওর। ওকে, না কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। আমরা আমরা পরের দিন হ্যান্ডস অন করবো, মানে অল অফ ইউ, আই ওয়ান্ট অল অফ ইউ টু গেট এ ফ্লেভার অফ দিস ডিভাইস, কি how to configure the basic configuration, you not to do in here, rather do it in the real device, তারপর তো ইরেজ করে আবার রিসেট করে দেওয়া যায়। উইল সি দ্যাট হাউ টু ব্যাকআপ মেশিনে, পাসওয়ার্ড আমি জানি না, তাও তাও মেশিনে ঢুকে পড়তে পারি কি করে, কনসোল পোর্ট দিয়ে। অল দোজ থিংস আর ভেরি ইন্টারেস্টিং টপিকস, we should learn. So anyway, today is 4:10. Sorry to say that I'm having meeting at 4:30. Okay. So today I'm winding up the sessions. So tomorrow 2 o'clock, but day after tomorrow I'll start little late, 3 to 5:30 or something. Okay. So hopefully we'll be having more participations. Now, few things I would like to tell you. Once you become instructor, so this time also see every year Cisco has basic three flagship programs. Three flagship programs. One is Ideathon. My favorite program is Ideathon. Because I'm having 30 students working for Cisco. Ideathon is a concept which they started 5 years back. Ideathon is a placement process. What Ideathon they do, you have to make your students Cisco certified. Okay. After they complete the certification, they will be able to sit for the placement process. The process is that first round, there is a basic screening round. They will check. Second round is basically a technical test where student has to go to a hacker rank and complete a coding round. Third round is basically ideation round. They have to put their each idea which they will be giving on the spot, and they have to give a solution. Fifth round is a physical technical, then HR, and these are the rounds by which students will be able to selected for a role. The package is from 18 lakhs to 30 lakhs, depending on the role they select for. The levels of difficulties are more. So I want the entire, all the departments. So this time we will not be able to make, because Ideathon has 50% halfway down, and they are making a lot of restrictions this time. I can share with you that questions and other things. हमारे बच्चों को वही करना पड़ेगा, मतलब आपको रटवाना पड़ेगा. Students will be able to crack that Ideathon. Okay. The basic is student has to go in DSA, the basic coding round, pick up a Java, and they have to be very good in that database and DBMS, and then other things, basic networking. So all those things are basics to clear their rounds. So they don't ask anything very good, but Cisco job is a government job. I have never seen students, because the work environment is so good. If you go to Cisco, the work environment is so good that you will be, students never say that I would like to leave, but the process is very tough. Once you get into a Cisco, the life is very good. I will say rather, it's because India job market is huge, and for Cisco, we are having Cisco is having world's largest, second largest development center in Bangalore. Okay, it's having 9 huge tower, and they are having a very good development center. I eventually went there and worked with them. So this is a very good opportunity for the students. The opportunity for the students means every year by May, for pre-final year. This year they started for 2025. So next year for 2026 students, pass out students for all computer science, means BTech, BCA, MCA, all students can sit for this. But again, the package will be not 15, not more than 15 lakhs for other graduating students. For BTech, it is go up to 25 lakhs, and for a master's, it is also go up to 25 lakhs. So student has to select for that profile, and I want all of you to motivate the students so that they can complete all the courses and be part of this placement process. Okay, because at least students should participate. So if every student participate, the chance of getting selected into Cisco will be high. So For 2026, 2026 pass out students, the next year May it will start. By September they will be getting offer letter. The offer letter says that final semester, that is starting from 3rd of January, the full semester they will be getting an internship in Cisco. It is on job means they will be getting stipend, they will be getting a lot of facility. Once they complete that, they will be onboarded from the August. So it's a very good opportunity, and every organization, every big organization look for this. And it's a pooled campus. It's not a dedicatedly our campus, but we can have a mentoring. I have been mentor for this quite long time. So this is basically called Ideathon. There is another called Codathon. Codathon is a one single round competition where students, if they get through the codathon, it's a very huge round of, okay, it's at least 7-8 hours of coding the test, but they pay them, and once they clear, the process is same. But codathon, it's not a pooled one. Student has to have a hacker rank account. A student has to have CodeShare account. They should have some ranking in hacker rank and CodeShare to get into that. They have to be very good in algorithm and DSA and one programming language, and rest they don't have to do any course. Here they have to do the course. Codathon, they don't have to do the course. Only Cisco Networking Academy students able to participate for Codathon, but it's prerequisite if they do the course, then the rounds will be little less. Means the coding rounds will be for a lesser duration. Otherwise, the coding round will be longer duration. So these two programs. Third program is Hackathon. Hackathon is as and when required they launch it. And the fourth is called virtual internship. For first year to final year, everyone will be able to participate in virtual internship. So this year they have given a very good, interesting question. This is called VIP. So you have to solve these two questions, and you will be getting a certificate. It's an online mentorship mode, means you can be a mentor. So these two questions they have to solve and submit. It's a mentor program. The student has to enroll. Okay, under your mentorship, they have to submit, and once they submit, they will be getting a certificate, internship certificate from, it's a NASCOM, Cisco, and uh, AICT combined certificate. It's GIF. So I don't know who is the new chairman, but till last year or till last time it was Anil Sahasrapati who used to sign, because it is his initiative. Anil sir initiative to do it, but they are actually changing the, it has become a little tougher, because you have to write a case study on all the tools. First you have to watch, and then you have to see how PCAP works and all those things. It's a little mentored program where you have to create a batch and make students to complete all the assignment and submit it to Cisco to get the certificate. So these are the three programs. So every year during yearly semester break, means May, they launch these four programs. But again, hackathon is basically not done on a very regular basis. But all the three, like Codathon, Ideathon, and virtual internship program, all the three programs are basically done. And sir is connected with Naveen and Priyanjan. Ask them to send all the mails. Otherwise, I'll write to Cisco. They are not sending, because they have to. It is their duty to send all the mails to all of you. And you Ideathon, VIP they have not sent. I'll just talk to them, because VIP was a very easy way of getting a certificate from for the students. Anyway, Ideathon is a very flagship program. So Ideathon, are you part of that India WhatsApp group? No, they have not added you. Ask them to add you in that group, so that every organization they have added, just go and call Priranjan, that नियोगी सर ने बोला मुझे ऐड कीजिए. So otherwise नहीं तो मैं मार्सेला को लिख दूंगा, ऐसे बोल के धमकी दीजिएगा. So Marcella is the president operations of South Asian region. So बोलता नियोगी सर वो मेरे नाम से ही आपको जोड़ देगा, because this information they should send it to you, what are the things happening, but don't tell this whatever we are doing in internal, because this FDP, they ask a cut money, that's why I am telling you, don't share with them, because we have to send some 10% of that fee to these guys. If you are doing it by informing your ASC and ITC, that's the reason. But if you don't want to inform, you can do it. So that's with me and Cisco. So don't inform that we are doing FDP, because that's the reason they ask charge you. For every each and every FDP, they might charge you around 50,000. So don't inform. Why should I inform that and pay? Because this program, they are basically doing this for their benefit. Na? They have to run their organization. Educate is connected to so many things, so that's the reason. Otherwise, whatever mail coming from Cisco, they should forward it to you, because this virtual internship programs, and eventually everyone should be part in same pitch, and should actually motivate students to be part of this. So this is basically, being a dean, I would like to tell you that we need to be more proactive with this all programs like industry interaction programs, so that students can get benefit. Like one is Cisco, we are having AWS, we are having Infosys Springboard. So I understand that it will be little hectic for after your daily routine job. It will be hectic, but you can actually choose whatever your area of interest, and accordingly you. Uh, but in break, I would request all of you to complete at least one or two, three courses. So this time I started with Cisco CCNA 1, 2, 3. Other courses are also there. So if you complete the courses and if you become certified and all, there are a lot of opportunities are there. So you can actually be if you are a certified person, it will be lot of benefit will be there. Otherwise, okay, let me stop the recording because it's unnecessarily not required.